Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another top of the table European Champions League finalist edition of the North Bank Summit. Oh, I don't know what we're going to talk about this week. It's been a very boring week. Arsenal keep winning. Oh, we keep annoying everybody. Oh, never mind. Here to discuss the happiness and joy and stress and happiness and joy. I've got three lovely people. Oh, I've been living the dream, boiling piss all day. And that's just Liam. Good, mate. Okay.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. I've kind of blood pressure has lowered a little bit. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. It was a very, very stressful game. What I would recommend is never have two young boys with you when you're trying to watch a game of football. That kind of ilk, shall I say? Because it was actually probably the worst hour of my life yesterday afternoon into the evening. As probably Ryan could see when I tried to jump on for like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was absolutely dreadful. But do you know what? 2 games away from the Premier League title, and that's all I can keep thinking about at the moment. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about a lot of things tonight.
Wonderful, absolutely. We've got lots and lots to talk about. And Jules, lovely to see you again.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks for having me back on. Yeah, a bit like Liam. Just recommend if you can't see, don't run up and down when he's got a winner and headbutt a metal pole. It's probably not the best. I felt Stevie Wonder was definitely seeing his stars there. It was, but it was worth it. But yeah, so apart from that, all good. Cricket season's back up and running. We're top. Champions League final, so I'm all good, mate.
Yeah. And the weather's been quite kind as well for the cricket as well, which is good.
Yeah,
and the things we do for the Arsenal, George, it's all worth the pain. Yeah. Absolutely. And
I was hoping I was going to get my sight back.
So. Yeah, all right, Booksy.
Come back, you never know.
Yeah, I'm good, Booksy. Like everyone else, stress levels have calmed down now. It took a while, but they've calmed down. We're back to normality for 6 days, 7 days, depending on what happens on Wednesday.
It's lovely. We've got a week off. We'll shut up. Sorry. We're going to talk a bit longer. I'm eating chocolate.
Yeah.
Here we go. Talk on. I mean,
they've thrown you under the bus there, haven't they, Brooksy?
No, that's all right. I'm used to it. Let them. I'm in a good mood.
I'm so used to talk
all day.
I'm so used to talking. I thought I'd give someone else a chance.
Now everyone can have their say tonight. Hello, Luke. Good to see you, mate. Even though. Right. Well, before we talk about yesterday's game, I suppose we might as well go all the way back to last week. Second leg, Champions League, Atletico Madrid at home. 1-0 from the first game. Screwed over by some stupid penalty decisions. It was another very, very tight, very stressful game. But we got over the line, Liam. You know, they did their job. Saka popped up with a vital goal. Defensively superb. I mean, I thought Atletico Madrid weren't all that, to be quite frank. It was very tense, but we got over the line. And another final, here we come.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you, it was an absolute incredible evening. I just want to firstly put out a big, well done to all the supporters organisation in terms of getting set up in terms of the team bus coming in, made the amount of people that were there, incredible effort from the fans. I thought I will go back to a couple of weeks ago where I kind of dug out our home support after the Newcastle game.
Yep.
And said we needed to do better and we needed to do much better. I'm not saying they've listened to me because obviously not, but maybe everyone's gone home that night and thought about themselves a little bit because actually the last 2 games have been absolutely incredible. And I said it last week on the show, didn't I, that the introduction of Miles Lewis-Skelly in that midfield, I think, has had a big piece to do with that. I thought, yeah, again, mate, for a 19-year-old to be picked in a Champions League semi-final, second leg, and to perform to that ilk was absolutely incredible to witness. I thought it was a brave decision from Mikel Arteta. But do you know what? This is what splits the good managers to the legendary managers when they make decisions like that. And he made a big decision. He could have easily put Sumi back into the team, but he didn't. He stuck with him because of the performance at Fulham, and he got rewarded for it. And a Champions League final beckons, totally deserved, unbeaten up till now. You can't complain as an Arsenal fan, and all these so-called other supporters saying, well, they haven't played anyone decent, they haven't done this, they haven't done that. We earned the right to play the side of the draw we got to. We earned the right by winning 8 games out of 8 in the group stages. If Man City, Real Madrid, or anyone else wanted to do that, they could have done that if they really wanted to, but they didn't. They didn't win 8 games. And sadly, Real Madrid are out, Manchester City are out, Liverpool are out, Bayern Munich are now out. The mighty Arsenal are in the final, and they're playing the European champions at present. And I think we've got a good chance of making wrongs right from last year. I really, really do. I think the big piece is, can we get Timber fit, especially after last night? But the only way you're going to combat Paris Saint-Germain is by having that excellent back four and defence, and no one's been able to provide that against them. Bayern Munich, they ripped to pieces at times, absolutely ripped to pieces. Liverpool, they demolished. Do you know what I mean? Because they haven't got the back four that Arsenal have got. We've conceded 6 goals in the Champions League this year. Let that sink in for a moment. 6 goals. 6 goals we've let in. We played 14 games. Atletico Madrid conceded 27 goals. So, do you know what I mean? We're rightly in the final. It seems like our structure has been absolutely spot on from Arteta. And we're one game away from greatness. Like Mikel Arteta said, like Thierry Henry said the other night to Saka, you'll be the unforgettables. And they will be. They will be. If they can get over the line in this Champions League final, this will go up there as one of the very best Arsenal teams because of what they produced.
Absolutely. And obviously, we've never ever won it. And sadly, we've had to listen to other dickheads from other teams. And obviously, sadly, that's the one thing we've never won, isn't it, George? A very painful final many years ago. But this is a hell of an opportunity. And obviously, PSG are a wonderful team. But, you know, they've just won the French league, I think, last night. I think they pinched it. They beat Brest 1-0. I see bits of it. They're a good side, but as Liam said, we're a magnificent team. Defensively, we're so good. We'll be set up solid. And it's anyone's game, really.
Yeah, I think we've got a really good chance. I think what people are not actually realising as well is the difference between us beating PSG last season was Donnarumma, who's not there anymore. So I think we've got, like, that defence can be got at. So with some of the attacking players we've got, we can definitely at least score a couple against PSG. I wanted PSG instead of Bayern Munich in the final. To be fair, I just think, like Liam said, there's a few runs that we need to rectify. And like what we said, like, we're on the cusp of greatness. Yeah, all we hear about all these other teams. Yeah, we've won it. Arsenal never won it. They can't keep saying that, can they? If we do, so yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, hopefully the game at Palace, hopefully it'll be a time we can rest players because we would have done it already. But yeah, so quite confident, to be honest. Not too confident, obviously, because PSG are a very good side. But let's get it right. So are Arsenal.
Absolutely. Obviously, Ryan, the last time we played PSG semi-final last year, we were missing a lot of players through injuries. Obviously, the only player, well, I think it's Timber and Marino we're missing, so everyone else is fit and available. So that gives us a boost. I mean, I think they're PSG. I think aren't really missing anybody. So yeah, we're not at a disadvantage like we were last time. I mean, we had a good old goal in the second leg, but sadly the damage has been done. But yeah, bring it on.
Oh yeah, well, as I think the difference was last year, not just obviously Donnarumma for them, mainly in the second leg as well. For Donnarumma sort of took effect. We didn't have a lot of our first team last year because of injuries, or we were getting them back, coming back from an injury. I mean, Saka had just gone back from a hamstring surgery and an injury. Havertz was out. I think Gabriel was the lead. I think it's the lead that was out. I'm trying to think now.
Yeah, I think Marino was playing up front.
Yeah, we were playing Mika Marino as a full sniper, crying out loud. So we were missing key players, and obviously the player that we said never mention his name ever again until further notice, got him suspended in the first leg, which is sort of screwed us. This is last year. Whereas this year, again, as you say, barring Timber, Marino, and we wait here on Ben White's situation. Didn't look too good him leaving in a brace, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. If as long as you have one of the two for the final, I think we'll be fine. Worst case scenario, they're both out. You got Mosquera to fall back on. Oh, someone scored, I think.
What? Tottenham or Leeds?
I don't know. I was just trying to find because I'm watching someone else's stream.
We didn't have Vicky G either.
No, I didn't have it. Jokeres even that
We'll be
striker.
talking about him in a minute.
And it's a one-off. Because the difference is this time around is in Budapest, but it's neutral venue for both teams. One-off game, no two-legged affair malarkey. It's who wants it on the day.
Yeah,
and I think me and Liam spoke about this last week. That touch wood. Assuming we don't mess this up now. Obviously, after yesterday's game, we don't mess this up. We go on to see the result through lift the league title in the next 7 to 10 days, depending on how results go elsewhere. That's going to give us a major boost in terms of not just the players and manager, but the entire club, the entire fan base. Because that's 22 years of pain ended there. We're going into it knowing the pressure of winning the trophy isn't going to be as much as if we were going into it still trophyless with this system, this squad. And and obviously it's a bit of history for us to try and achieve. Whereas PSG achieved it last year, are they going to be that hungry? And as I say, we keep going back to it. Goalkeeper's different this time, and they're not exactly walking away in the league on this season either.
Conceding a lot of goals, which not many people are talking about enough for me. Like, I know they battered Bayern Munich, but they did concede 4.
Yeah, and even in the quarterfinal against Real Madrid in the second leg, it was a 3-4.
Yeah. So, and we're not that bad. We're not as bad defensively as the rest of the teams in Europe are. So, I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying they don't score, but what I'm saying is it'll be harder for them. I don't think we see like a 3-4 in the final, but I think not enough people. Too many people are disrespecting Arsenal, thinking that PSG are just going to blast us out. But fine, do that at your own peril.
Absolutely. And Tarek, I'm eating a Cadbury's Cream Egg chocolate bar. That's what I'm trying to eat in between. Right, you've already mentioned him, George. I'm going to talk about him because I thought he was absolutely magnificent against Atletico Madrid. Sexy Victor. Yeah. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. He's arguably the best game he's had. I know he didn't score, but it's just everything. He was just a beast. He just led from the front. He just took all the knocks. He beasted all their centre backs all night long. No wonder they wanted to fight him after the game. They couldn't handle him, Liam. He was absolutely superb.
He was absolutely immense on Tuesday night. Like, even for me, he was man of the match by far. And this is the pace share, right, where I think Paris Saint-Germain will struggle against us in the final. Because we're defensively so strong, we can go direct with him and long. And he's so... I don't want to disrespect him, but he can become a very, like, scruffy player. And the reason I say that is, that he can make the game really horrible. And I love it. And I really love it against the European teams. I think he finds it harder in the Premier League because of the way the Premier League is. But I think in Europe, I think we've seen some of his best games. I thought he was really good in Atletico Madrid. I think he's shown his calibre in other Champions League games. I thought like that finish in Inter Milan was absolutely incredible. But that was his best game for the club. And I just don't see how Paris Saint-Germain is going to want to play against him. And I'll tell you the other thing that I'll just quickly go into last night. No one wants to play it up against him and have Havertz there as well. Like, you've got 2 over 6 foot players, right? And you've got the option where you can push Havertz right up with him and go very direct. And you can literally just bully centre backs. And it's been a shame that Havertz has been stop, start since he come back in January. Because I think we could have seen a lot more from them. And I think they really actually partner up quite well. And I think as you see in the goal yesterday, it's getting people in the box of the ilks, of the Havertzes, of the Jokereses, and then you can like free up kind of the Trossards to be like where he is. But I just think Victor, we'll see the best of him next year. We'll definitely see the best of him next year. I think a year adapting into the Premier League, I think it's probably been much bigger than he thought it'd be. I think it's been much tougher than he thought it'd be. I think it's been a really hard year for him in the Premier League, if I'm being totally honest. But I think in the Champions League, I think he's been pretty much spot on. And this is where I think we can get Paris Saint-Germain in the final. I honestly think that we've got the back four. If we can get Timber fit, and it's a big if. Do you know what I mean? We've got that back four. We've got that structured defensive midfield with Declan Rice in it. And let's be honest, Declan Rice at times can be like a third centre back. I just think we'll make it really untidy for them. And like the likes of the Dembélés and all that, they're great players, but they won't get as much change out of the likes of Jokeres and out of Gabriel and Saliba whatsoever. They won't get the change out of them. And I'm really, really confident about the final, to be honest. I don't know why, but I just feel that Paris don't really want to play us. And George hit it on the forehead. Donnarumma was the difference maker. Look, that first 20 minutes at the Emirates, the best 20 minutes football I've seen from a football club at the Emirates. Probably in the 20 years, I'd say, it's been open. Like that first 20 minutes, Paris Saint-Germain played against us. They were absolutely awesome. But this not get away from the fact that if Thomas Partey had not got himself stupidly booked in Real Madrid, right, Mourinho would have had to play in centre midfield and he'd have gone up front, and I think it'd have been a little bit different. And that was the kind of style that we had to play against Paris Saint-Germain in the first game. We had Trossard up front on his own, and we didn't have these players. We didn't have a settled team at the time, and they had a world-class goalkeeper, and he kept them in it time and time again. And we went over to Paris, and we absolutely battered their door down for the first 20 minutes. Yet again, Donnarumma from Odegaard, absolutely insane save it was at the time. And yeah, the goalkeeper they got now is all right. He's decent, but he ain't no Donnarumma. If we can play like that in the final, then do you know what? I think we've got a great chance of bringing it home.
There's no David Raya either.
No, he certainly is not.
We honestly got a great chance because we've gone up against all these teams and we've beaten all these teams. We have beaten Paris. I know it's in the group stage, but we have beat them, so we know we can beat them. We went and beat Bayern Munich quite comfortably in the group stage. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one's got on top of us. Like the Atletico Madrid game, I still think we should have won out there. We didn't get that penalty. Do you know what I mean? Like otherwise we would have won out there. It would be much more comfortable coming home. But like, what did they create? What did they really create? Apart from that chance that when obviously Saliba put that ball back and obviously it didn't make it, and Gabriel obviously had to go in with him, which obviously they were paying for a penalty. What did they really create in that second leg? I don't recall them creating much whatsoever.
No, many shots.
That's what we're so good at. We're so good at stopping other teams doing absolute anything to us. And I don't think that they've got the defence that we've got a defence, obviously. And I think that because they will pour forward, I think they'll expose themselves a little bit. And then it won't be like your normal game of football where actually in the Premier League, we'll be trying to stifle down 10 men. Do you know what I mean? Like West Ham in that first half, just literally piled the bus. It won't be like that. And I think it's a perfect game for the likes of Jokeres, the perfect game for the likes of Saka, potentially Odegaard or Eze. I think it's the perfect game for them. Got to be confident in you.
And obviously by then, I mean, you like to think, I mean, like yesterday's game, we will have won the league. So the confidence, and like more swagger, if you will, of the players is only going to make them. There's going to be obviously lots of pressure, but the weight will have been lifted off their shoulders because they've won something. No one's talking they've won the league. Oh, they're not bottle jobs, blah, blah, blah. So surely, George, if that does happen, then they're going to be buoyant, aren't they, really? They're going to be like, here we go, let's go and win another one.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so important, right? To win our games. Don't worry about anyone else. Like if they slip up, they slip up. They will slip up. I'm not worried about that. Everyone's wrote Wednesday off. I'm not so sure. But I think
That'll be lovely. I can relax then.
just Mateta at the wheel. That's all I'm saying. That's what we'll see. But Mateta, Mikel Arteta, that is written in the stars. They both sound the same. But all jokes aside, like I think, obviously, like you say, you go in with that swagger. Yeah, I think it's probably the first time that we've. Because I can't remember if we went in with this much confidence to the last final. I don't think we did. But this time, and it isn't disrespecting PSG, but I just think we've got the players, like Liam said, to disrupt their play quite a bit. The difference between us and last season with that PSG game was Donnarumma. I'm not getting that twisted. Well, what has changed in that? We've got the world class goalkeeper. They haven't. Like, how David Raya is not in the line for the Ballon d'Or, I don't know. I said it yesterday, but I just think the players we've got, like you've seen, like Trossard. I think that goal yesterday gives Trossard massive, massive confidence. Gyökeres,
He was very
like,
good against Madrid as well.
yeah, he was, and I think like he went through a dodgy period and not playing that well, but I think the last couple of
And
games,
I think we found out a reason why yesterday.
yeah. So
If you believe the media reports.
yeah, don't get me started on that. But what I mean is like the player, and Saka is back. So Eze, like we're seeing Eze, like someone who I know will come to him later, is Erdegaard, someone I've been a critic of, but yesterday I couldn't be a critic of him there. So these are the players that we've got that can get us over that line. And I just think, like Liam said, Skelly is an absolute revelation for me in midfield. You just see, I think he's been amazing. Even yesterday, I thought he was
He's
quite
been
good.
playing there for years.
Yeah,
Considering he's hardly played all season, and bless him, he's probably been really frustrated. You know, he did so well last year, broke through.
yeah,
England called up, scored in his debut, and being so brilliant for us. You know, see, this year is like, no, you're not playing. Now you're on the bench. Now you're on the bench, not even in the squad. Now you're not on the bench. Oh, you'll play a few minutes in the cup game. Oh, a few minutes here and there. And bang, straight away, right, I'm playing you in midfield Saturday. Oh, okay. And he took to it like a duck to water. No airs and graces. Everyone's talked how highly, how brilliant they think he is. He must have been brilliant in training, by the way, because he hasn't sulked. And everyone said he's just got on with it, and he must have worked so hard. And absolutely fair play to him. It's brilliant. And the
that's
way
what
he's
I
going, I
mean.
think he'll be going to the World Cup as well, because
All the
he can play in
noise,
multiple positions, and
right?
he's brilliant.
All
Even
that
yesterday, he had to go
noise,
back fullback. He was
all
brilliant again.
the noise where they're saying, "Oh, he might have to leave" and all that. He's had to deal with all that stuff. He ain't going anywhere. Like, just remember
No,
that.
definitely not.
Um,
No, definitely not. He's staying.
like Liam said, 19 years old, bang, Champions League semi-final. Like playing against Fulham it's just a league game. Let's just remember that. Like the pressure was on, but playing against Fulham in the Premier League and then playing against in a Champions League semi-final, that's different levels. That's not like you can't. They're not comparable. And like Liam said, well, what did they offer? Well, that was one of the first times they've took Julian Alvarez and Griezmann off before the 70 minutes.
That's when I knew we were going to win when they took them off. I'm not going to lie.
No, so you know what I mean. When
They got
Alvarez
out
went
by
off, I think we go in with that bit of swagger. I think we still probably stick to like the take it game by game, but we don't know. Like we could win it on Monday, we could win it on Tuesday, we could win it against Palace, whatever. But I think it's just important you get that over the line. And it's been a long time, Brooksy. Do you know what I mean? All the talk, like it's 22 years. That's all we keep hearing.
I know. Yep.
And it's what 20.
I had a full head of hair.
Yeah, I could see, mate. I could actually see. That's how long ago it was. But and then with everyone's like bringing up what happened in the Champions League final again. So it's a lot of pressure from, but I'm just hoping we get the job done because it will. Believe me, a few people will need to learn to keep their mouth shut, especially some of the shit I've seen this season.
Oh, absolutely. We're all going to be tucking in on various people. But obviously, we'll start going to yesterday's game, Ryan. Obviously, he named an unchanged team again. I think he did, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, changed.
Yep. So he's like, right, let's go. And, well, we got off to a really good start. took the game to him. Obviously, Trossard was really unlucky. A very good save by the keeper, and then he hit the woodwork. And he thought, but it's only a matter of time before we're going to score. And then Ben White looks like it could be a bad injury. He was spotted in a knee brace after the game, and it all went a bit lopsided.
It was his own fault, wasn't it? Apparently.
Ah, mate, Gary Neville's unbelievable, honestly. Because he didn't go in hard on him. Yeah. Unbelievable.
How dare you go for a 50-50 challenge with a ball?
Right.
Should have gone harder.
Yeah, as you say, like again, up till Ben White's injury, we were in control. We were pressing Ricardo Calafiori, tormenting the defence like every opportunity. Even he had a few chances to score.
He did.
But yeah, he got his injury, and then I had a brainwave. He had his Enzo Maresca brainwave moment, and it's kind of messed us up for the next 20-25 minutes till half time. Thankfully, he realised his mistake. He's come out since then, since the game's been finished, and admitted he messed up there. But he rectified the mistake. He threw, because me and Catherine are doing the watch on, and we're like, okay, because I'm seeing him scared warming up. He's there warming up with stuff and all that. And the next thing I know, so it meant, what the bloody hell is it Monday coming on for? What brainwave is he doing here? And then the next thing you know, he's getting Declan Rice at right back. I'm like, no, have I seen this one before? Best DM playing right back. How did that work out? But yeah, it's just sort of disrupted our focus. The balance we had initially prior to it just went out the window. I think, as you say, he's admitted to his mistake there in the aftermath. If he'd just thrown Maresca on in the first place, which is the most logical thing to do, I don't get what he did with the brainwave moment. But I think
I've been more worried about how Rangers are doing, mate, having a go at me.
What was the Rangers score?
They lost again. Go on, Hearts. Go on, Hearts. Win the league.
Ain't gonna happen,
Break the
Brooksy.
Glasgow.
Ain't gonna happen, pal.
Rangers lost to one of the worst Celtic teams.
I'm going to draw in Motherwell, and Hearts are going to win on Wednesday.
Celtic are going to win it.
Break the boring dominance. Come on.
Celtic will win the league.
But you're going back to it. He rectified the mistake. Then, as soon as he rectified the mistake, it took another 5-10 minutes in the second half to get the balance back. But we got the balance back, and then it started. And the second hit the 70th minute, 20 minutes to go. We decided to do what they did for the entire game, and we went, okay, you've had your turn. It's our turn now to drop deep. You come at us. And it almost backfired in like near the 80th minute. I was like, oh my God. Thank God we've got a goalkeeper that knows what he's doing and knows how to make himself big and make big saves when we need him most. But I think the key thing is yesterday, we always we always have a go at our team. He makes mistakes when he serves his subs, timings, this, that, and the other. He realised his mistake and Zubimendi looks, I don't know about you guys, but Zubimendi looks shattered. Considering the amount of verses he's been getting recently, he looks shattered still.
Yeah.
So I think again, I know we got until this time next week before we play, but I still bench him for that game. Give him more rest, and then if you want to, depending on how things go, give him some minutes against Palace maybe. But even then, while Miles is in form, I still play Miles ahead of him at the moment. It's not a bad thing. It's no dig or sly on Zubi here. He's just tired because he's coming to a league, his debut season in this league, where he'd been so used to wanting to break 3 to 4 weeks off at Christmas. He hasn't had that this year. And he's been getting minutes there, plus all the other minutes because of the lack of rotation throughout the season from Mikel. He's absolutely shattered. He needs that respite because he's going to have a busy World Cup as well, because Spain will go deep in the World Cup and he'll be part of it. And all we needed to overdo him for these next 3 games. He then plays in the World Cup, and somehow gets himself an injury.
We should play him now. Tyron's completely out, so he hasn't got to do the World Cup.
Yeah. I was just saying that.
Throw him in the final when it's done. When it's the last couple of minutes, when it's in our hands, so to speak. Throw him in for the last few minutes, gets an injury. Oh well, sorry, Spain, you can't go to World Cup now.
Yeah,
I can't believe Raya's not their number one.
No,
It's madness. Simon is absolutely madness.
Lean-
Whether that will change, I don't know. If he has a magnificent final, for example, albeit, yeah. But Liam, I know you were absolutely fuming when Declan Rice was playing fullback, because you were messaging me a lot of abuse, not to me, but about.
I was informed by Catherine on this one, so yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like, what do you
you
think?
weren't a
you're
happy
playing at?
chappy, were you?
No,
I couldn't
what do you
believe it
think?
either.
What do you think you're playing at, though?
As
What do
you
you think
said,
you're playing at? Like, you've got a right back sitting on the bench who's played right back in. Did he go? Was it Sporting Lisbon he played away? He played somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You've
Mhm.
got
Yeah.
Mascara who can play right back, and you take your best player out that midfield and put him at right back. Yeah, fair enough. He had to put him back. I don't think there was no if, buts, or maybes about it. I think he realised after 5 minutes the cock up that he made, and it was a big one. It was a big one. I'm sorry, it was a whopper. Because before that, right, we had laid 10, 11 shots on their goal. We had laid 70% possession, and they weren't even getting out of their half. Do you know what? Their crowd was quiet. Go back and watch that game. The crowd is absolute dead on the floor. And he puts Declan Rice right back. And I'm just scratching my head like, this is not going to work. Skelly and Subi have not played minutes together in centre midfield for this to work. So where do you think this is going to start to work now? Now, like Rice said, thankfully, he got to half time and he rectified his mistake. He had to rectify his mistake. There wasn't no 15, 20 games to kind of, do you know what I mean, get away with it. You lose this game, draw this game, Man City potentially going to win the league. And I'm going to be honest, I thought it was quite an arrogant decision. If I'm being totally honest, I thought it was a bit of an arrogant decision, if I'm being totally honest.
Even more interesting that he admitted that Calafiori, he only subbed him off as he was injured. So would he have made any change?
I think he would have done. I honestly think, right, if push comes to shove, he'd have took Skelly off. And I think he'd have put, but like, I'm glad he didn't do that, because actually Skelly doesn't deserve to come off. Look, I thought Calafiori was our best player in the first 20 minutes. He was popping up everywhere.
All action.
I didn't really buy that he was injured, because I know that's what Arteta's been saying.
He looked quite happy sitting there. He did.
Well, I mean, if he was injured, why didn't he bring in Capio?
Yeah. Do you know what my philosophy is, right? Why I thought he took him off at the time before he said he was injured. I'm not you. I don't really think he was injured. I think that he looked at his bench, right, and he thought, I've got to get Declan Rice back in midfield. Yeah. So I've got to make a substitution now. I can't take Subamendi off. Because I'm telling you, that's probably what he wanted to do, was take Subamendi off and bring Mascara on. But he couldn't do that. So he thought, you know what? If I take Calafiori off and put Skelly back to left back, at least I've still got Hincapié on the bench who can go that left back if something goes wrong. Do you know what I mean? And I honestly think that was his kind of mindset, that he felt to himself like he didn't want to embarrass him, Subamendi, and I kind of get that. And I've got to be honest, I don't really get what's going on with Subamendi. Why is he so fatigued? He hasn't played for the last 2 games. He's come on in the games. So he's a professional footballer. This is a professional footballer. I think there's obviously either an injury or something else in the background of this all. Because it was quite interesting when we drew 0-0 Sporting at home and he got the man of the match award. All the players were going up to him. So I'm wondering if there's something going on behind the scenes of him. Do you know what I mean? As he lost confidence potentially, I don't know. But it wasn't the right. It was a total wrong decision. Thankfully, he got in at half time, and he rectified it. And I honestly think if Calafiori wasn't injured, that's why he's made that decision. But I actually think, and I want to go push even more forward, Odegaard coming on the pitch won us the game. Yeah. And look, I've sat here and criticised him at times, and rightly so at times. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's the captain. I expect better. He has got injured. I know you're a good fan of him, John. But I thought he was terrific in that last 20 minutes, and I would have him in my team for these last 2 games. And I'll tell you why I'd have him in my team, because he'll keep control of the game. And I think he's got that burning desire. I think he's got that burning desire for him to get us over the line. So I would like to see Odegaard come back in.
He's got a bit between the teeth.
How he does that, I don't know, because I think it was an easy decision up till last week. I think Eze goes out on the left, but Eze don't go out on the left now because Trossard somehow has totally transformed his form for being someone that I didn't want to see in the team again. To I think the last 3 games, I think Trossard, the last 3 games, and I'm trying to work out how and why. I think he's been absolutely superb, and I'm sitting there, and I think it's all to do with Skelly. Honestly, the inclusion of Lewis Skelly gets these players on the front foot much quicker and gets them on the ball. It was like I said, when we had Cazorla, he would get Ozil, he would get Sanchez, and he would get Walcott on the ball half a second quicker. And I think with Skelly in that midfield, he moves that ball forward much. He brings that ball forward. He gets players on the ball in much more advanced areas. And I think he's just flicked the switch, and that switch has flicked with about 4 or 5 players. And I really liked what I see from Odegaard in that last 20 minutes, because not only did he keep control, he actually went into the box. And when was the last time you can remember Odegaard going into the box? He used to always go into the box. He used to always arrive late. He used to score goals. I remember the Wolves game away, the 2 goals he scored back in November 2022, I think. That was Odegaard. He would turn up late in the box and score goals, and we haven't seen that. And that was the best I've seen Odegaard for a 20, 30-minute spell for a long, long time.
Yeah, he looks really, really hungry. And I thought Havertz did really well when he come on. They were just driving the team forward right on the final third when they needed it. I thought Mosquera, when he come on again, another very solid reliable. I mean, what a season he's had, by the way. He's come in, no one thought he was going to play, and every time he's come in, he's never let us down, always done, always worked hard, always put a shift in. But before we talk about anything else, and I'm really delighted Odegaard's come back, because as you said, Liam, I've always kept the faith with him, and I'm really pleased for him. And yeah, it's great. It's what you want to see the captain doing. But Ryan kind of mentioned it, but we've got to talk about David Raya's save. 70-odd minutes, Fernandes dances through the defence, and you think, oh my God, Gary Neville nearly had a Connery. And he stood tall, and he played the game of all chicken, if you will, and said, right, where you going? And yeah, he put his foot out, and it was a wonderful, wonderful save, George. And yeah, he's done it time and time again. There's a reason why he's won another Golden Glove. I think this is his 3rd. That's why everyone's saying he's the best keeper in the league. And it's moments like that that really make you think we're going to win the league. Because if that goes in, we might score, we might not. But yeah, we keep clean sheets. More often than not, you're going to win the games. And he's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I can't speak any highly of Raya, mate. I don't think he's just the best in the league. I think he's best in the world. I don't think there's. Everyone keeps telling me about Neuer and all these geezers. Raya, for me, is better than that.
They've had their time. They
yeah,
were amazing. But yeah.
If David Raya played for anyone else but Arsenal, you'd hear about him, spoke about him all the time. Like, personally, I think he should be in line for the Ballon d'Or, but he probably won't be. But like, you think the saves that he makes, like some of the saves, even if you go all the way back to the game when we battered Spurs, like the save he made in that game, when the game was done as well. Like, so I just think he's probably one of what I think he's the best keeper in the world. So then when you've got that, you've got that confidence, don't you, mate? Like, you've got that trust that your goalkeeper's going to save you week in, week out. So, and like, so I was listening to it on the radio, and Rob Green was talking, and he said that save was a title-winning save, and I think he's right. Like, but yeah, I don't know what words ain't enough, mate. Like, I could talk about it all night. I just think he's really, really good, and I'm glad he's our goalkeeper. He's a bit of a change to the goalkeepers we had before him. So.
He's been sensational, really, Ryan. He's just, every now and then he might do a scary little thing with his feet, but we'll forgive him because the saves he makes time and time again. And it's always in the big games he produces. He's just, and you see him, and he's fairly tall, but he's got a slight in stature, and there's no airs and graces about him. He's not a screamer and that, but he's just, I don't know, he just has this sort of aura where it's just the whole team love him, and he's just always seems to have things under control. Whereas as much as Ranzo was a good shot stopper, he was always a bit chaotic. But Raya's just almost like Zen. He knows what he's doing, and he's backed up time and time again.
I mean, in games like yesterday in the first half, just for examples as well, like he's even when he's not got much to do even in a half of football or a game of football, out of nowhere when he's called upon, he's making his world-class saves like he did in that. It was the first half, wasn't it? Where, near the end of the first half, ball came in. I can't remember. West Ham player headed it. It was going in, and he just dives and gets a hand to it and pushes it out for the corner. He's done that
That's
so many
right,
times.
Tati Castellanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And again, he was doing it throughout the season. He's been doing it on and off throughout the season, domestically and in Europe. Again, when he's done nothing, that was our one critique of Aaron, was that he was when he didn't have nothing to do, he'd switch off. He said it himself. When he has nothing to do, when the team's doing what they're doing at the other end, and he's got nothing to do because he's got nothing, literally, there's no attack coming his way. He has to find something to do to keep his mind switched on. Otherwise, he switches off, and that's what was costing us goals under Ramsdale. But again, I think we go back to it. The situation of how David was brought in at the time. We all loved Aaron. Don't get me wrong, but that's a lot of pressure to throw him under. He got through that season, obviously signed him officially the following year, and he's made it his own basically. And to sit here and say, arguably, he's the best goalkeeper in not just in Arsenal, in the world, and how it's a disgrace that Spain have got him as a number 3 goalkeeper as we speak. It speaks volumes of the guy. And again, as you said, I've mentioned it earlier. That save in the 78th, 79th minute, whenever it was, like 5 minutes before we scored our winner. If he doesn't make that save, it's 1-0 to them, and I don't think we come back from that.
No,
that's the difference he makes. He does it time and time again, but that's a difference maker. But because of what happened in terms of the winning goal, but then what happened right in the injury time as well, later on in the game, it's sort of that save has actually gone under the radar in the last 24 hours in terms of the coverage. Everyone's been focused on what happened later, and it's a shame because it does again. It's somewhat reminiscent from 2 seasons ago when we were going for the title head to toe with City. They went to them not down the road, and Ortega made a save against Son 1-on-1. It looked like bread and butter for Son, but Ortega made a save. It was a total winning save. That save could be the difference between us lifting the league in the next 10 days. That's how important he is.
Nice. Absolutely.
I can't think of a goalkeeper better than him at the minute. I might be missing someone, but off the top of my head, I can't think of one better.
Last person to win the Balloon d'Or was Levi Yashin.
Yeah.
Was that the 60s? Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, sadly, there's not glamorous enough.
He probably won't win it.
And the way he's going up, I think he could well get our Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't he win it, though?
He's really put himself up there.
No, mate, I think he should.
But
I think he should, but like, if the last person who won it was in the 60s, but I don't see why he shouldn't and who could win it.
If he's probably the one player. Well, I'm going to put this. Yeah, if he's not in that team for Paris Saint-Germain, you worry. Kepa's all right, but I mean, look at what we did in the last cup final.
He ain't all right.
You know, yeah, it doesn't bear thinking about.
Don't remind us.
I was glad I couldn't see that day.
This is my argument, yeah. Why? I know what you're not saying he can't George whatsoever, but why can't he win it? If we go and beat PSG 1-0 in the final, right? He's conceded 6 goals in 15 games at that point.
Yeah, no,
that is totally insane in the Champions League.
And back-to-back Golden Gloves as well. Like, I don't know what the stats are, but over the last couple of seasons, he'd be lucky if he's conceded 30 or 40 goals.
And you can't give Bruno that award, can you? Because he didn't pass it.
He'll probably still get it. Right?
But Why can't, like, do you know what I mean? I just don't get why he can't. I really don't, because I think he's been absolutely incredible. Like, the saves he's made, mate. Like, I remember the save against Brighton at home.
Yeah.
We was 2-0 up, right? And they scored, and then he made this unbelievable save. And I was just like, Golden Bennett. Then he made another one. I can't remember who he made it against now. He made another one that was even better. And I'm just like, this goalkeeper is absolutely insane. Like, his catalogue of saves are probably better than anyone else's I've seen, if I'm being totally honest. And I'll tell you where he's got better, right? He's got better in his communication over the last year, because I felt he dipped last year. And I think it was a little bit to do with Saliba, Gabriel getting injured and that kind of fault. But I feel like his communication's got better. But I'll tell you what he's really good at now, right? It's coming for corners. And look, the only reason why he didn't get on that one yesterday was because he was getting his arm held down. But if you watch it, right, he pretty much claims absolute everything, and he's so reassuring now. And I feel like his decision making, and I don't want to say that he makes a big mistake, but I feel like his decision making with his kicking's getting better now. And actually, I feel like he will go long a lot more now when he knows that he needs to. He won't go and make that stupid pass anymore, because that was something else he had in his tank last year, that he would make a ridiculous pass and then you'd concede goals of it. But I don't see why he shouldn't be up there, and I don't see why he definitely should be in the top 5 for me for the Ballon d'Or in terms of the this year. Like, the only players that I can really think of, top of my head, is probably Declan Rice, Harry Kane, and then you're probably looking at Dembele and maybe a couple of the PSG players. Do you know what I mean? But apart from that, where else are you looking?
Well, I don't know. With the PSG players, I don't see why they should be there. Right, they got to a Champions League final, but domestically, it's not really competitive, though, is it?
But they won't. Yeah, I totally agree.
Do you get what I mean? Like, there's other players.
Never got it.
No, well, he lost it to Pavel Never, didn't he? So
exactly. So
if Bruno's in it, we know there's problems.
Of course, it won't be. It ain't really about leagues, though, is it? It's more about what I think nowadays. Like, that Pavel Nedved one was a shambles, but I think nowadays it is more to do with what you do consistently.
The World Cup could have a big say in it as well.
Yeah, World Cup.
That's what I think is going to go.
Dembele wins it for France, he'll probably get it. Whereas Raya will not even play a minute for Spain.
And I think that's what goes against Raya. If he don't play for Spain, they'll use the World Cup and say, "Oh well, he did." It's rubbish, but
it's not good enough.
It's more the right winger for what's his name? Who's the winger for him?
Good
luck saying his name, Leon.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's the one.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah,
he's
that's
the one,
right.
isn't he? Really, him or Dembele, the 2 big players in that team.
Yeah.
So I think you are competing against them two. Of course, you're competing against them two because they have won the Champions League. Like, I totally get the French.
But he's definitely got to get goalkeeper of the year when they do it.
Oh, yeah,
there's no doubt about that. You can't see 6 goals in Champions League and not get it.
No, especially winning the league as well. So yeah.
I don't trust any award. When Bruno gets his award, Bruno reminds me of, like the Harry Potter films when he entered his name into the goblet when it wasn't even him.
No,
like, mate, you shouldn't be
nothing to me whatsoever. Harry Potter, straight over my head.
But I don't get the Bruno award. He's a decent player, but not compared to.
Don't worry, George. We're not going to talk about it because I think less about Bruno. So that's the only thing he's going to win. Let him win it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But obviously, Liam, he makes that wonder save. 10 minutes to go. It's very stressful. I'm just walking around my living room. I can imagine you're doing the same thing. And you think, come on, get that chance. I mean, the last 20 minutes, obviously, Odegaard and Havertz coming on. We're getting more and more of the ball. Odegaard was getting more and more of the ball. West Ham are getting more and more penned in. And Odegaard gets the ball, drives in. Lovely little 1-2 with Rice. Beautifully weighted pass by Rice, by the way. And Trossard just stood there waiting. He pings it back. Trossard has a crack, hits someone, goes in. Thank you very much.
But that's probably the guy that you want in that moment, Trossard. It would be in totally honest. I think I said it before. He's our best finisher.
Just put his foot through it.
Yeah. He's our best finisher apart from Gyökeres at the club. I'd say Gyökeres is probably a better finisher. Well, he is a better finisher, but I think up till Gyökeres signed, Trossard is the one man. If you got one chance in a Champions League final at the last minute, you'd probably want him to be on the end of it because he's the guy who can actually score that goal. And we haven't seen that enough from him. But we just got it's hard for me to talk about it yesterday because I just felt that we got over the line. I think, do you know what I was more frustrated about? It's just the way we were spoofing. And it's I get it because actually we're so close to winning the title. But like when I watch like that last 5-6 minutes and I see Declan Rice with the ball, and he just hoofs it to their goalkeeper.
Yeah,
And he's like,
I didn't think
mate, that's not taking the pressure off you. That is not taking the pressure.
No.
And this is where they do.
It's coming straight back.
This is where they do need to get better, I think. Because there's two things that frustrate me. That frustrates me. And I'll tell you what else frustrates me. And it's frustrated me for about a few years. And I get we're at that moment is when they celebrate a block. Now, yeah, well done, Gabriel. You fucking won.
That was annoying me yesterday.
But Manchester City, mate, away that happened in the 96th minute, then we could see
in
the 97th.
Yeah.
And it happened again nearly yesterday. We're celebrating a block. The corner comes in and it's a goal. Luckily, it's disallowed. But it's like, just get the fucking job done. You can do your celebrating after the fucking game, mate. Yeah, well, I get you've made a good block and that, but just stay focused. Just stay focused, you know what I mean? Because we haven't won nothing yet. And I get you're getting excited and all that, but I just think we're so frantic. And I've seen it I see it. The Chelsea game was the biggest one, where for the last 6 minutes that game against Chelsea, we was playing against 10 men. And fucking David Raya bails us out. But we were so frantic because all we could do was just hit the ball long, hit the ball long, hit the ball long. Composure,
do you think that's where they're so scared to get the job like over the line? So like if we do, maybe that comes out. Well, there's no reason for it to be in their play, is there? Like say hypothetically we do win it next season, we shouldn't be seeing any frantic play really.
What you're best off doing here, right, Joel? Especially Declan Rice yesterday, you're best off trying to play rugby and try and fucking hoof the ball down to their byline on their corner flag and try and get the ball out for their throw in.
I thought you meant just lay on it.
Because at least you can push the team up then, though. Do you know what I mean? You can push the team up. But, that's the one thing that kind of obviously infuriates me. But I felt that up to the goal, we started, like you said, we started to get a stranglehold of that game. But you just knew once the goal went in, we will just sit in there. And fuck me, is it uncomfortable? Do you know what I mean? Like, we put up with this all year long. I'm surprised we're sitting here talking about it at the moment, to be honest, because this, as first season, I've never, ever, ever, in my 30, 40 years watching football, have I ever experienced a season like this, right? And I swear down by this, and I'm going to say if, because we haven't won the league yet, if and when we win the league, this for me will go down as the biggest achievement. It will go down as the biggest achievement because what we have faced. Look, the Invincibles were incredible, but we knew how good they were. We knew they were unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? They're the Invincibles. They won't get beaten in terms of that sense. But to get over the line with every bit of shit that's been thrown at them players for the last 9 months, from pundits, from press, from social media, from opposition fans. Fuck me, man. I'm taking pelters of people that support League 2 clubs. Like League 2 clubs, you're throwing pelters at me. Like, what is it? What has it become?
What clubs are they?
Oh, pardon?
What club?
What clubs are they?
Oh, people like Bromley.
Fucking
Bromley. I've taken pelters of every.
They have won the league, to be fair.
Yeah, but mate, you're not Arsenal fucking football club. Do you know what I mean?
They've got Carl Jenkinson playing for them.
No, listen, fair play to you. Like you're playing well this season. Do you know what I mean? You've got
How is he not now?
But get back in your station a little bit, right? Because the abuse that's come our way this year, I have never, ever, as a supporter, experienced the amount of shit thrown at myself, mate, as a football fan, like in groups on fucking Twitter. The abuse you get on Twitter if you put something up is vile. It's absolutely vile at times, some of the stuff we say.
Even from your own fans.
But do you know what I mean? Like, can't you just see what I'm trying to say, though? Like, to get over the line after all this, I feel would be the greatest achievement of all time. Because, like, the whole history of Arsenal bottling it The whole history. We've been there since 2008 when William Gallas was sitting on that floor when the Eduardo tackle happening. How painful was that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
2011, 10, 11 when we or whenever it was. When we lost again and we lost Aaron Ramsey and all that. And Theo Walcott got injured. We lost the title again. 2016, Danny Welbeck scores. The next week we go to Manchester United against their youth team and lose 3-2. Do you know what I mean? Like, it goes on. It goes on. We put up with the Unai Emery years. Do you know what I mean? I watched the geezer roll out Mavropanos, Jenkinson, and El Neni in the top 4 battle game against Crystal Palace that we needed to win that game to get in the top 4 or put ourselves in control and lose the game and end up 5th and then get smashed by Chelsea in the final.
Yeah.
We even sat there on Boxing Day of 2020-21 season, 15th in the league, losing to teams like Burnley at home. And no disrespect to Burnley, we was losing to them all, mate. We was losing to Aston Villa. We was losing to Leicester. We was losing to absolutely everyone at home.
When we lost 1-0 to Ostersunds in the Europa League.
We was in the gutter, mate. We was
You
in
know
the
what
gutter.
I mean?
We was in the
That's
absolute
how bad
gutter.
it
The
was.
glory days.
Losing to Spurs on the second or third to last game of the season, not to get
That
top
a
4.
Borisov, you know.
Like, do you know what I mean? The title challenges that we've had over the last 3 years, we've had to put up with all the pain for that as well. Do you know what I mean? We've been in 3 title
Was it the 3-0 or 2-0 against Southampton at home?
Well, mate,
You know what I
I'll
mean?
tell you what,
3-0.
we talked about that
Yeah.
Southampton game, but the West Ham game was the worst
It
part of
was.
it when we was
The
2-0 up
box.
after
Yeah,
10 minutes. And then Saka misses a penalty as well. We've gone through it all as supporters, mate. We have gone through the absolute turmoil to be where we are today.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll tell you one thing straight. We will be fucking unbearable
Oh, yes.
if we get over this line. And every single one of us deserves it because of the amount of shite that's been thrown at us over the last 15, 20 years. But it's not just that. It's what this team's, for me, had to go through this year. And don't tell me that they're not seeing social media. Their families are not seeing social media. Do you know what I mean? Of course they are. And this is what's made it so hard for them to get over the line. Like, I honestly feel when we win this league, I actually feel it'd be the most satisfying league win I've experienced. And I'll put that over the Invincibles right now.
By the way, 20 minutes to go. It's 1-0 Tottenham, but VAR's got involved. Possible penalty for Leeds.
Ooh.
Okay.
So keep
I
it
do
back.
agree with what one of the comments
Does
said
anyone know
about...
do you know what the Millwall score is, right?
Last time I checked, it was 0-0 still.
Okay, yeah.
I do agree with what one of the comments said about the 22 years. That's like a whole generation. Like, a lot of people that are commenting on stuff didn't see us in our glory time, so they're quite self-entitled. Like the younger lot, I mean, not like the
Yeah,
majority.
the young generation haven't witnessed it yet. Haven't got
Yeah,
that
like, so
feeling.
when you see some silly comments and stuff, that's probably a lot of them come from that. So
They've never feasted at a top table before. So
no,
they're getting very twitchy and nervous.
they never saw
Which is
Stevie Bold.
understandable.
Never saw Stevie
No,
Bold
they
at
didn't.
Everton.
No. No, I didn't see Steve Morrow.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, Hull winning 1-0 apparently. in the
Oh,
chat.
Jesus.
Hull winning 1-0. Oh, that's not good.
I don't want
yeah, I
Millwall
didn't see-
coming up.
Penalty for Leeds.
Penalty lead.
Cool.
Oh,
That
go on,
happens.
Leeds. Go on, Leeds.
I do think though, yeah, right. Over it all, yeah, that we've deserved it this year. When you think about overall, I think we have deserved it. Like, don't get me wrong, the football's not pretty. I totally agree. The football's not pretty whatsoever. But I always felt that this was the way we was going to win the league. Do you know what I mean? This is the way that Arteta felt that they had to win the league. That if they needed to get over the line, they had to do it this way. And if he gets over the line, you can't argue it. If he gets the double, mate, then there's a serious question where he kind of sits at the table already, isn't it? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not Arsene Wenger's level yet, because obviously Arsene Wenger's legacy is massive. But you're pretty much arguably saying that actually he's going to be in the top 3 Arsenal managers of all time.
If we do win these 2 trophies, though, next season, handbrake's off. No, that's what I think.
He'll have
Obviously, he'll stick to his defensively.
He'll have a proper left winner then.
Because a lot of it's been so tight because they know the pressure's on them because they haven't won. You know, they want to win things, but until they do win things, it's always going to be there. But take that monkey off their back, and they're going to be like, right, let's go again. We've, what are you going to say about us this time? We're the reigning Premier League and hopefully Champions League holders. It's
Go on, get in there,
what a place
DCL.
for.
1-0. Wow.
Yeah, go on. Lovely, go on.
Oh, what a
And
pen.
obviously, well, I suppose we have to talk about VAR because Ryan just mentioned that Leeds have got a penalty. Obviously, we have to have a
Always
nice
like
discussion about apparently, and I don't know if this is correct. Apparently, West Ham scored, but apparently it got ruled out by VAR, and apparently it's the biggest decision in VAR history, and apparently everyone's crying about it. I've always loved VAR. I've always been a big fan of the ref yesterday. I can't even remember his name, but yeah, I mean, his beautiful words at the end when he said there was a foul by the West Ham United number 19. Oh, it was wonderful. I was pacing around a conservatory. I was close to crying. It's awful.
Ian Wright made me laugh at
that. Oh, he's brilliant. Yeah, the best word since
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I've got a dream. Incredible. But as much as a big sigh of relief it was, Liam, at the end of the day, it was a foul. And obviously the replay they showed on the TV, you just see Pablo's arm across him like that. And then obviously when you see the other pictures of the other, was it Toledo, whatever it's called, pulling him back. But obviously you couldn't see that on the screen. So as soon as you see both, I said, oh, yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, yeah, it happens all the time. And sadly, nothing's ever going to get eradicated. But at the end of the day, as we know, goalkeepers are protected species, and you can't foul a keeper.
Yeah. Do you get paid for delivering the post?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't.
You don't. Exactly. Like, well done. They've done their job properly for once. I'm sorry, Ryan, mate. It doesn't take away, mate, the bullshit that I've watched for years. I can't sit there and turn around and go, do you know what? How great they are, because that would be absolutely hypocritical. Everything that I've said about Howard Webb, cronies, you know what I mean? Congratulations, you've done your job right. You've done your job
Finally
right.
got one right. Yeah. Well done.
Look,
they took it all season.
It did take bollocks. Yeah. It did take balls because you're sitting in a stadium with 60,000 West Ham fans who are desperate for their team to stay up, and it did take a massive decision. But at the end of the day, he gets paid. He gets paid to do a job. He did his job, and he did it correctly. So yeah, well done for him for doing his job correctly. But it don't change my stance in terms of the crony who runs that organisation at the moment. It don't change my stance in terms of what I've kind of witnessed over the years. And look, let's be totally honest, right? We've got away with one. We have got away with one. Not in terms of the foul, because it is a foul, but we've got away with one big time because, like, do you know, I see an interesting thing tonight, and Paul Merson said if he actually catches that ball, then actually they might then try and do Declan Rice or something for like holding a player down. Look, there's so much going on in that box, and that's the worry, and that's what my concern is, right? In terms of the way we play to survive, and this is what worries me in the last few minutes of games, that actually a decision like that could go against us. And we've got a big one like yesterday, and rightly so. It is for me, it's a foul. Of course, I'm going to say it's a foul. I'm an Arsenal fan, but if Roy Keane tells me if it's a foul, if Paul fucking Scholes tells me it's a foul, then I know it's a foul, because actually Paul Scholes will not tell me it's a foul. He don't want it to be a foul. So there were so many established football players come out yesterday and said that's a foul. Do you know what I mean? So do you think I'm going to worry about the geezer who's sitting in his basement in his grey pants getting stressed on Twitter because actually he's Manchester United, but he wants Man City to win because he hates Arsenal so much? Do you think I'm going to worry what he's got to say for himself?
Is that Mark Goldbridge?
Bloody hell.
But is that Mike Goldbridge or is that Gary Neville?
Yeah. Gary Goldbridge.
Gary Goldbridge.
What happened to that lad that used to go in his car, in his mum's car, and just scream and shout? Do you remember him? It's that little bloke who Arsenal used to lose. He used to go in his car and just go,
because he was never probably an Arsenal fan, was he? No. He was probably never an Arsenal fan deep down. He was probably just another paid actor.
Even that was his car into a river.
I thought you meant Austin for a minute then.
Oh God! Yeah, I remember now. What was that? Oh,
Yeah, I
was
don't
it?
remember that.
Last time I saw one of these videos, it was literally the
A while ago.
when we watched the Brentford opening weekend of the opening night in terms of the Brentford Chelsea Man City trio games. Not seen him, as Liam says, probably not an Arsenal fan, because he was an Arsenal fan. We've seen people do that and still stick around. We've seen Tottenham fans say, "Know your level. Fulham and Brighton's your level. We're looking for the top now. Look where they've disappeared off the face of the earth." But the thing is, I love most about all that, how rattled every other fan base was over the correct decision.
Mm.
Oh, also been doing. We saw someone, not mentioning names and talk shite, walk off air because it did, even though the result benefited her team, she lost her mind because it obviously lost winning.
I kind of lost my belief for that when Jamie O'Hara was saying, "Come on, you Gunners."
But deep
So,
down, he didn't want
2-0
Arsenal
Hull.
to win the stake,
No,
did he?
2-0 Hull. No.
Deep
I
down,
think
he didn't want them to
2-0
win.
Hull. Wow.
the thing with me with the VAR thing, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. It's not really. I don't really like it. But what my issue is how long things take. I get that was a massive, massive decision, but it shouldn't take nearly 4.5 minutes to make a decision.
No, exactly.
And I don't know how
it does.
And the inconsistency with decisions, I do get, like, because that's happened. Like, if that's up the other end and that happens to us, I'm fuming. But
Mm.
I do think it was a foul. I'm not saying it wasn't. But what I mean is that we've seen decisions across this earlier this season that's been given as a goal and it's been given not as a goal. So I think it's just that consistency. And then it shouldn't take 4 minutes to make a decision. If you're taking that long, then there's an issue.
Yeah.
But we knew 2 years ago,
change.
didn't we?
Yeah, then that's right. We look at Martinelli against Brighton.
Ben
6
White.
minutes.
What about the Ben White incident like that
Yeah.
year at Leicester?
So do you know what I mean? Like, it's not improved over the years. Like, if and at the end of the day, if a decision like that's made, like we all know, if the referees give a decision on the pitch and then they send him over to the screen, 9 out of 10 times it's getting changed. But it just feels like the referee don't have that control to make that decision. Fine, whatever. But I don't know. It when it works for you, you could sit here and be, "Oh yeah, we all love VAR," joking like that. But it's it's still something that I don't really want in the men's game personally. I don't want it in the women's game either. But I'm just really not a fan of VAR. But yeah, right. Maybe VAR's helped us out yesterday, but how many times is it not, Liam? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's like about 8 or 9 examples.
The problem with VAR.
I see a video earlier, minutes, about 2 or 3 minutes. It's all the decisions that we've been screwed over. I mean, that's not even mentioning before VAR when the Man United game, when we got done the 15th game. No matter decisions, and you can never ever trust them. But what I will say is now it's been highlighted. What we cannot do in the next league game, especially, is put our hands on anybody because they will be looking to even it out. I mean, you see in the video yesterday, it did make me laugh because obviously you see Declan Rice and he's holding on to play, so he's like trying to dance with him, and then you see like Havertz and Souček's trying to give him a piggyback. It's just it's just. I mean, everyone does it. It's, obviously, it gets highlighted more because there's Arsenal, but we just got to be extra careful now because they will be looking.
Yeah, they'll pick on anything now. Like, even if Gabby sneezes in the box, they'll say that's a
free kick, red card, get out.
Like Catherine said, because of what everything happened in the box. Yeah, I get that, but it still shouldn't take over 4 minutes. I'm sorry, I can't get how it takes so long.
I think the reason why it took for me personally, why it took so long is because of what was at stake for both teams.
Yeah.
They didn't want to they didn't want to rush to the wrong decision, and then realise in the aftermath, and then have to come to the press and go, "Sorry, guys."
I also think it was the amount of people in his face talking to him. The only one from the radio commentary, so you guys can say if it was true, that wasn't in his face was Martin Ødegaard. Martin Ødegaard said, "Just let him make his decision."
Before you go on, right, I was going to throw this one at you because, like you just said, right, I think it does have to take that long for that kind of decision, because I think what you've got, like, I thought they managed that really well yesterday, all jokes aside. Like, and I've just bantered them. But when you think about, like you Ryan just said, the size of that decision, yeah, right, and what's on the end of it, like you've got this. Like, let's be honest, I think this West Ham Arsenal game is probably the biggest game in the Premier League outside the top two teams meeting each other for years and years and years in terms of 19th playing first. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you've seen a game like that that's been so high in stakes for many and many years, if ever, in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? And they've got to the 93rd, 4th minute, this decision's come up, and they've got to look at absolute everything. They've got to look at what Declan Rice is doing, but actually, where's the ball at the time? Do you know what I mean? And it is quite lucky because actually, if Declan Rice was in front of Raya, for example, they get a penalty because actually that's the first action. But what we was lucky about was actually Raya's up like that. He's going to get the ball and he's got arms down like that, and that's the first action. But they've got to make a decision on that. But they've got to also watch every single instance going around it to make sure they come out the right decision. Now, I don't agree usually with 4 or 5 minutes worth of instance to wait, but I do feel yesterday, under the pressure that VAR was under, and under the pressure that referee was under, I actually think that they done an incredible job yesterday, and I think they took the time. And I think if they didn't take the time, and they did make the wrong decision, the backlash would be even worse than it is now. Do you know what I mean?
I just mean generally the time, like maybe yesterday's example was it like say the Gabby Martinelli one. If there's 2 or 3 people in the booth watching it, that shouldn't take nearly 7 minutes to make a decision.
Of course it shouldn't.
Maybe yesterday's was obviously, like Catherine said, all the people in the bots. And like you say, it sounds like apparently West Ham have requested the audio already and they're talking about suing VAR.
Suing VAR for what, though? Suing VAR for what?
Nonsense.
But obviously it's just...
If they won a few more games, they wouldn't be in that position.
I thought. But that's what I mean. What you're saying is right, because obviously if you make that wrong decision, they're in more of a shit street. I think generally the timing of it and the inconsistency as well, because like I just go back to like with Gyökeres against Newcastle twice when he got completely wiped out. Was it by Pope?
Yeah, like so many instances.
And nothing.
It's like the inconsistency is what drives me mad, and like when they take 6, 7, 8, 9, like there was like a 9-minute check in one of the games last week. Like,
I'm scratching. Trying to rule out a goal. Oh, it's offside. Yeah. Oh no, it's offside. Oh, it might be a foul. Oh, it might be this. They're just looking for ways to stop.
It's like if it was the cricket.
If you don't need to get involved, don't get involved.
It's like if they'd done that in the cricket. Oh yeah, is he out? No, hold on. We'll check an LBW. Hold on. No, is it a no ball? Hold on. Is it?
No.
But I'm scratching my head. What they're going to sue about? What are they going to actually sue about? That they got to the right decision.
But apparently they've requested the audio because they feel like it weren't the right decision. So,
but wait. Anyway, mate, that's just pathetic, mate. Do you know what I mean? We're going to a situation now where is it worth us having football played at whatsoever if we're going to go down the road of like suing because actually the wrong decision wasn't made, to a blatant decision which is the correct decision, which absolutely every single experienced football player that I've heard from, like that I have respect for, has said the same thing. Not being funny, when you got Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher,
and Danny Murphy,
you know it's a penalty. You know it's a penalty. Look, they are unlucky. They're unlucky that it's happened. But at the end of the day, like he's going to catch that ball. He's going to get hands on that ball if he's not held down. And they've made the correct decision. Yeah, it's going to hurt them. I totally get that. But you're going to sue them. You're not going to. What are you going to sue them for? Because actually, nothing. You're not. There's nothing that's going to come out of it. And
you won a couple more games in the season, it wouldn't have been an issue, would it? So.
Well, this is the problem.
Last week.
It's what I say to everyone. Yeah, that. Sometimes, right, you've got just like it. What frustrates me in the group chats when I listen before the game, the refs going to screw us over. We got this keys, we got that keys. How about we put the ball in the back of the net 3-4 times, and then actually you haven't got to rely on VAR. You haven't got to rely on the referee's decision. Now I know that's easier said than done. Do you know what I mean? But over, like Glasner said the other day, over a 38-game season, basically who wins the league deserves to win the league, and who gets relegated deserves to get relegated.
Yeah,
And look,
exactly.
fingers crossed it ain't West Ham, because we all want Spurs to go down. But do you know what I mean? If it is them, it's because they weren't good enough over 38 games.
Is it still 1-1, Ryan?
Yeah.
Still 1-1, and
How long's left?
James Maddison is
4
on the
minutes plus
pitch, so that's how
2 minutes
bad
plus
it
injury
got.
time.
Sorry, Ryan.
2 minutes plus injury time.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
Not easy to get a winner.
My 6, but I think just West Ham I think is just Sullivan throwing a distraction. Look over there. I know we're in a mess. To West Ham, I know we're in a mess here. If you look over there, we're trying our best because we agree that we're jumping on the bandwagon here that everyone's against Arsenal. We're going to jump on the bandwagon and distract you over there while we cock up over here. It's a joke. In terms of, going back to what Liam said originally about the VAR and how it's run, I've said numerous times in here. For me, Howard Webb needs to get sacked. We need to go to FIFA, go and get Kalena, make him the head of the PGMOL, and this is meant to be the best league in the world. We bring all these foreign players in year out. Why can't we bring in the best foreign referees? They have no, and I repeat, no emotional connection to any club whatsoever. No geographical affiliation to clubs as well. So all these refs then can referee and officiate no claims of bias and this, that, and the other. And when it comes to VAR itself, don't put refs in there. You put what they do in rugby, tech-savvy people that know the rules, that read up the rule book, make the rules simple as well, but read up on the rule book, and will, if they see an incident, go, right, whoever it is, we've seen this, we think it may be a foul, but we want you to have a look at it on the big screen, so the whole stadium can see as well. And we're going to have a nice little chat back and forth, and you decide if we've messed up and stopped the game for no reason or whatever. 13 minutes of injury time.
What?
Yeah, I've just seen that.
13 minutes.
What the hell's happened to there then?
There you go. This is what I mean.
No idea.
13 minutes.
Enough for a Leeds winner.
That's how long it took Maddison to come on.
But we just, as I say, we just
ties laces.
I think we just need to go down the route. Go and get Kalena at the head. Get the best referees around the world to be the referees on the pitch and the officials on the pitch, and just train tech-savvy people to control the tech in the VAR room that have no affiliation to clubs. For? What's that?
There's 2 what the fucks.
I think that's for the 13 minutes.
For the 13 minutes, yeah. Because the only stoppage was literally, I've seen the second half was the VAR trick, was 2-3 minutes. Anyway, that's what we need to do, but they won't do it because it's you got the Northern Alliance and you upset Baldy Howard Webb because he will be out of a job again. And this is my thing when Howard Webb came in. There was like this big thing of how well he's done in the MLS. Sorry, yes, he's in XREF, but you just made a big statement there. The MLS, the American League. With all due respect, nowhere near the levels of what the Premier League is. And you just gone, yeah, cool, come on, come back. You'll be improving with what we've. It's actually got worse. Officiating's got worse under him. And it's concerning how much he's getting away with it. Until he goes, and as I say, my plan is to go and get Kalena. Nothing's going to improve. Sadly, we're going to be sitting here for match day 1 next season, all week, every week, for Arsenal or whoever having the same conversation, just because they're inconsistent. They're protected. They were protected under the previous guy. I can't remember his name now, and they're protected even more.
Mike Riley, isn't it?
Mike Riley, that's it. And they're protected even more under Webb. I don't know if you guys heard this on Soccer Saturday. Paul Mercer, the discussion near the end of the games.
I did see this bit.
They're talking about the Bruno Fernandes getting smacked in the face and all that, and basically the ref gave nothing, not even a card. And for the ones that didn't hear this, Mike Dean's reaction was, "Well, it is May. to the point where even the host is like, Mike, it may be made, but still Premier League there's Premier League titles and relegations to be settled. Surely you should be more switched on now, more than ever than you were at the start of the season. But it's just so casual, and that concerns me because he's best friends with these people. He's not long ago. He was a referee. He's best friends. He knows how to do it. They're like that.
He was a cheating little bastard as well.
Yeah, don't even get me started on him. But Mr. Tottenham himself. Well, it's all chummy and rovers. You're not even fucking. You're not. Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's not even going to do that one.
I do think they've got a big job on though this summer. If they're going to sort out this corner kick situation, I actually think this could benefit us as a team. Like, can you imagine if you can't grab people and everything in the box? I think it'll suit us better, to be fair, with the likes of Gabriel and all that. But
yeah,
they've got a big job. It'd be interesting how they manage this this summer because know there's going to be some kind of impact this summer around corner kicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But as I was saying, as I referred back to this incident that happened yesterday, we had it against us with Ben White a few years ago. Do you know what I mean? Trossard scored an absolute worldie, and unfortunately Ben White had his hand like that, and we couldn't really argue it at the time because actually, it's one of them, innit? When it's against you, you're like, what? Why? But at the end of the day, goalkeepers use their hands. Do you know what I mean? So if you grab their arms, then you're expecting trouble, ain't you? Like, why do it? Why do it? And like Roy Keane said yesterday, why do it in injury time? You know VAR is going to pick up on it. Like, you want to score a legit goal at the end of the day, like in that last minute. And all you're going to do, is do what you do. And then it's just going to go to VAR. And then it's just going to be disallowed. And that's what happened. Do you know what I mean? But I think the problem we got here is clarity. Like, what is a foul and what's not a foul in the box. And I think they've got an incredibly hard job now to do because I think there's so much that happens in boxes now in terms of attack. We see it yesterday. Rice grabbing players. We got their players grabbing our players. We got their players grabbing our goalkeeper. Someone's pulling his shirt as well, by the way.
From behind, yeah.
Like, how do you sort that out? How do you manage that? We're going to end up going down a painful road with corner kicks where I don't know how you manage it personally. Do you know what I mean? How do you manage it? Because corner kicks, let's be honest, there's always going to be some kind of contact with corners because you're going up for headers. I don't really understand how you're going to manage it. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's moaning about it, but everyone's doing it.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to stop it. It happens every game. So what are they? Is that what they have to do to stop it? I don't know.
And then look, throw-ins. They're the next one now, aren't they? Long direct throw-ins. They're the new thing on the thing. You know what I mean? Where they've started getting the towel out and all this kind of stuff. Right.
Oh, we're in the final.
It's a Millwall bottling it again. Well, Millwall West Ham might be happening after all, guys.
Bloodbath FC, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather see that in the Championship than the Premier League.
That's a big old upset today. That is whole bit of Millwall.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all, to be honest.
Who's the other one? Middlesbrough and Southampton.
Southampton, yeah.
Was that the one who they got done for spying or something? Was it?
Yeah, Southampton being accused of spying.
At the Middlesbrough's training ground,
Yeah.
Here we go. The latest predictions on the Premier League thing will end up at an 83.3 points. City was 79.86. I don't agree with all this stuff. Like, you can't predict games.
How do we end up on like point of a point?
I know, it's a ridiculous thing, isn't it?
So obviously Man City have got Palace, their game in hand on Wednesday night. Pepper's already come out and said, obviously the cup finals on Saturday, he's going to rotate and rest players. So take that as you will. I presume he'll. Palace,
their rotation's quite
they've
good.
got their cup final in Europe to look forward to. Yeah, well, exactly. But they've got to look after their own players now because obviously they've got a massive cup final coming up. I expect City to win. Yeah, they have to at the end of the day. If they don't, it's magnificent. Then it all rolls over to us on Monday night. Thanks, Sky. And yeah, we do our thing. I mean, I see a bit of Burnley yesterday. I mean, they gave Villa a good game. I mean, they've got nothing to lose. That's the dangerous thing, I would say. They're going forward more than I've seen them a lot this season. Because, like I said, they've got nothing to lose. So they'll come and have a go, I would expect. I mean, but, if you're going to hand select someone to have in your last home game, it's going to be them or someone down the bottom. So just do our thing. Try not to give me a heart attack or two, and then hope that Bournemouth get a result of City, and we won the league, and we can all chill out on Sunday. How's that sound?
Be absolutely beautiful, mate.
That'd be lovely. We all know that deep down Arsenal won't make it easy, but
I do think Pep's
your
got.
fancy has to be playing.
I do think it's interesting for Pep's selection on Wednesday. To be honest, Sean, I think he's got a decision to make now whether he protects players for the FA Cup final, because he's got to go for his strongest and where he actually sees.
But it's not just a cup final; it's the Bournemouth game
Well,
as well.
exactly.
That's arguably that's a harder game than Chelsea, to be honest.
Where does he rest the players? Like, it's very hard to say where he rests them, but I think it's going to be interesting. His team talk, not his team talk. He's in his press conference tomorrow. I think that's going to be quite interesting, because he's probably going to have a talk about having a claret shirt on Monday on and all that kind of stuff, isn't he? But hey ho. But I think it's going to be quite interesting because I think that he can't afford. He has to win the FA Cup. He's got to win the FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Carabao Cup's not enough for a club like Man City. Look, they're still in the Premier League race, but I do think 3 games in 6 days is going to be hard graft for them, and they're going to end up going to a totally informed Bournemouth team, who have not lost since January, who are going to be fully rested, and they could pick up injuries on the way over the next 3-4 days. Do you know what I mean? So I think it'd be interesting on Wednesday, and I do expect Palace to go full strength Wednesday. I do. There's no reason for Palace not to go anything but full strength. They can't turn up to Man City. They're not close enough to that final yet. Do you know what I mean? To be resting players, they have to go to Man City and play their best team, or they end up being like getting smashed to pieces, and then that could affect their morale and that kind of stuff. So I expect Man City to win on Wednesday. But I think it might be interesting the selections that he makes. I think the title might be over next Tuesday night. I think they're going to have to do really well, Man City, to get over this 6 days.
That's about the Bournemouth game, though. If Bournemouth won that, they're actually only 2 points behind the Champions League spot.
Well, they're getting
to the last
Aston Villa have gone to pieces, and their next 2 games, Villa, they've got Liverpool and Man City.
Both away as well.
But if Aston Villa
Bournemouth win their games, they'll go ahead of them.
If Aston Villa win the UEFA Cup, the 6th team gets then included into the Champions League.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a must-win game for Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean?
What happens if Villa finish 6th?
Well, they'll be in Champions League, won't they? Then whoever finishes
it won't matter. You still get like the top 6 in the Champions League.
So it's a big game for Bournemouth. It's an absolute massive game for Bournemouth. And actually, what would suit us if Aston Villa lost the UEFA Cup final and then has to go to that last game of the season to get top 5. But I think Aston Villa win the UEFA Cup final, for being totally honest. I just think that the big game for me is Bournemouth Man City. If Palace get anything, then it's a massive bonus.
Is Super Eddie back on Wednesday?
No, I don't.
Can you imagine Super Eddie? 90 minutes at the Etihad.
On a good note, my mate Ben, who's a big Palace fan, last 2 times he hasn't gone to Man City game. Palace have beat them. So I messaged him today. He goes, "Are you going?" And he went, "No." So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be 3rd time.
If he said he was, you're at the station like, no,
yeah,
sorry,
mate, literally, mate. I'll be making sure he ain't going. But he's not going, so that's a bit of good omen. But I don't expect Man City to not get the win on Wednesday. I think it'd be the Bournemouth game.
I do like what Blasner said as well. He said he'll play whatever team he wants. If he wants to rest people against Arsenal, he will.
But it's up to him what he does, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
He's got to think of his own team. Yeah.
But you got to remember, even if he does play the full strength team, they're not going to be up for it. They're not playing for nothing. They're going to be worried about getting injured.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. It still worries me, right? I'm sitting here thinking, right, actually, if Man City go and batter Palace 5-6, say 5-0, for example, right, that puts a lot of pressure on us. Because actually, if they go and beat Bournemouth, we've got to go and beat Palace. Do you know what I mean? It's not just a gimme that we're going to turn up to Crystal Palace and win the game. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, you know as well as I do, Brooksy, they would love nothing more than to stop us winning the league.
Oh, yeah. I think nothing. Oh, mate.
But they're not going to be interested in that game. And, like, I just think you put intense pressure on them, on that Palace team, they're going to be like, nah, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? We've got our own final in 3 days' time.
Apparently Leeds have just hit the bar.
Wow.
So you might be on for your winner. Yeah.
No, I say now. But this is another thing with Palace as well. Going away, they do love on their way to the Etihad. The last few years. But no matter who the manager is, be it Roy Hodgson.
Random results out there.
They did have Eze though.
And Josh Townsend with that screamer.
And Josh Townsend.
We could lend them Eze just for the day.
This is another thing. They've got incentive. There's a financial incentive for Palace as well, because if we win the league, they get an extra £5 million.
Yeah. Which people don't think of.
Yeah. To tell West Ham fans that they get the bonuses as well, but they don't.
And there's some players that obviously Crystal Palace have got quite a change, haven't they? Like probably in the summer, and I'd probably expect them to lose a few. So you don't know. The players might be looking to advertise themselves, and like you say, the final. I don't think that team in the finals absolutely nailed down. So there's still players that could play in that.
Cool, full time, 1-1.
Yeah. So
that's interesting. That means
that's a bad
2 points
result.
clear of West Ham. Is that correct?
That's a bad result for Tottenham.
2 points.
2 points.
Yeah, and Tottenham have got. I don't know that they've got Chelsea and someone else.
Chelsea next.
Everton
are home. West Ham are away to Newcastle, then home to Leeds.
Yeah.
So if West Ham can win against Newcastle, Spurs don't play till Tuesday away to Chelsea.
Yeah.
But then Chelsea,
that's going to be interesting because
West Ham have got away with one there for me.
Yeah,
I thought Tottenham were going to beat Leeds.
Spurs' home form has been absolutely dreadful.
That was at home
West
tonight.
Ham's has been very good.
And Newcastle, you don't know. It depends what Newcastle.
West Ham will go to Newcastle win.
No,
West Ham
never know
win. Newcastle is over.
I think Newcastle have tapped out.
Yeah, I agree.
The season's done.
Callum Wilson again.
Apparently, Kingsky's wonder saved Spurs.
Oh, there was literally the injury time.
Yeah, I just had that flash on my phone. Yeah.
He put an arm out, he pushed it up into the crossbar.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if he's not there, it's 2-1 Leeds.
It's just his job, though, isn't it?
Well, he's in there, isn't it? He's goalkeeper. That's his job. That's his job.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, I don't get thank you for delivering mail. Yeah.
No, it's my job to ball piss.
Oh,
yeah, and he did it very well. Right, let's do some predictions for the Burnley game.
Go on.
Right, I'll let George go first. Arsenal against Burnley, George. Go on.
3-0.
Lovely. Oh, that'd be nice. In the first 10 minutes.
Gyökeres will score 2, and I'm going for a Lewis Skelly.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that sounds that, Ryan?
5-0.
Oh, my.
I'm
looking at Liam's face. I think me and him are thinking the same thing.
Monday night under the lights.
It's going to be another nervy night.
I think it's Monday night under the lights. No matter what happens on this Wednesday's game, Monday night under the lights, last home game of the season against a team that's got nothing to fight for, they're going to want to end the home season on a high.
1-0 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake!
I'm going to go 2-0. Yeah,
I was going to go 2-0.
That's going to be a thriller. We're going to beat Jackson.
This could be any score. This could be any scoreline. This could be any scoreline because it all depends on Wednesday. Like let's be honest, right? If Palace wouldn't have got a point on Wednesday,
it's part atmosphere at the Emirates.
Yeah, I think it's 4-5-0. I think it's a 4-5-0. I think the pressure will be off, and we'd absolutely batter them like we always do to teams last game of the season at Emirates when the pressure's off. But I don't think Palace will beat them. I don't think Palace will get a point. So I think it is going to be. I don't think it's going to be as easy as everyone says. Do you know what I mean? Like Burnley are going to come part of the bus, and it's all about how early we score. If we score early doors, then do you know what? The floodgates will open. But we need to score goals, really. Like this is my worry, right? This is my slight worry is if we had to go down to the last game, and if we draw and Man City are winning. Do you know what I mean? It could end up being Man City's goal difference. Do you know what I mean? So it is a big game, this Burnley game. We do need to keep it tight, but we do need to score goals as well.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to score goals because, like, the worst case situation happens and we draw against Palace. I don't think we've got enough goals at the moment to win the league drawing that last game.
Mm.
So we need to bang goals in against Burnley, but I think we'd just be happy with 2-3-0, to be fair.
Yeah, just keep ticking off the wins. That's all that really matters now. Goals would be lovely, but 3 points are better.
Go on, 7-0 Arsenal.
I'll go 6.
At least you ain't done the old 6-7, so you're fine.
Oh, for God.
I was waiting for Ryan to say 10-0.
It's like Sheffield United, so no.
You know,
Mate, you thought you was in there first half, didn't you? At 5-0 up.
Yeah.
Just a bit, yeah.
Even I was praying that the goals wouldn't go in the second half. I thought we'd never be at the end of this one.
Oh, dear.
Well, thank you, everyone. I think we'll call that a night. Yeah, it's been a good night. Thank you, everyone. Yes, Crossy, we are still top. And we're very determined to stay there. Liam, George, and Ryan, thank you very much for your company as always.
No problem, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Say 14-0, Brian. 14-0. Wow. Is that against PSG?
That would definitely be 1-0.
Yeah. I agree with the 1-0 there.
We've won 1-0 10 times this season.
11 won't hurt.
So yeah.
That's
Absolutely. Or 13 to be quite frank.
That's an interesting thing I thought of, yeah, right? You know, we beat Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Go back to the 2017-18 season, yeah? They drew 1-1 with us at the Emirates and then beat us 1-0 at home.
Yeah.
They then had a French team in the final and beat them. We've done the exact same thing now.
Oh, yeah.
We drew 1-1 at their place, 1-0 at ours, and we've got a French team in the final. Could be fate, guys. Could be fate.
Thank you for joining Psychic Liam's hour.
Yeah, Mystic Liam has spoken. Thank you. Good night.